It's interesting. It's like, kind of like, we're working on getting Dana White on the podcast, Connor McGregor on the podcast. And so many people love Connor's story because it's classic. He was a plumber in Ireland.
Yep.
And he came from very humble beginnings, dirt poor, was trying to figure out how to make it work. And now the story is, people champion him because they see versions of themselves in him, right? In their little situation, their little challenge.
Yep.
And then today he's, obviously been the biggest thing ever.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Connor McGregor?
I like Connor.
Have you ever talked to him or connected with him?
Yeah, I have to be careful who I say I know, but
Gotcha.
I've yet to meet him in person. But I like Connor. I have respect for anybody who stands up for what they believe in. And truthfully, even if you disagree with me on every single subject, if you stand up for what you believe in and you act remotely honorably, I have respect for you as a person. And it takes a lot of different types of people to keep the world functioning. Mm-hmm. I don't like snakery, and I don't like deception, and I don't like dishonesty. But I feel like Connor, I'm sure we don't agree on everything. I feel like he's an honest person. Mm-hmm. He probably says what he means and means what he says. And that's enough for me to get my base respect as a man.
Yeah.
And he has another fight coming up soon. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Maybe, who knows? Maybe after we'll organize a little round table, me, you, and Connor. Wouldn't
that would be a very interesting conversation. We'll see how that one goes.
I'll work on it.
But yeah, you're right. His affinity was with the common man because he comes from a common place, as do I. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you're trying to build a personal brand, I think people now are looking for, I think the internet landscape is also changing because I don't think people are looking to be just entertained anymore. 3 or 4 years ago, even 5 years ago, you could be entertaining and people cared.
Right.
Because life wasn't perhaps as difficult as it was. Inflation wasn't so high, whatever you want to call it. But they just watch a show and go, okay, he's being a clown, I'm entertained, fine. I think people are looking for answers now. I think people are looking for solutions. And they're only going to believe and trust in the answers you give them if you've tried and tested them, which requires suffering. Mm-hmm. I think that the internet landscape is changing. People aren't so interested in watching people just have fun anymore. Yeah. People aren't so interested in watching these idiots just put on makeup anymore. Now they want a solution for their problem because their rent is due and it must be paid. Well, how do we find a person we can trust and why can we trust him? Yeah. And the easiest answer is, well, because I've been through X, Y, and Z. Yeah. That's how you prove you can be trusted. How do you prove you have discipline? Run a marathon. Then you can prove you have discipline. So for all the people who listen to your newsletter who want a personal brand, okay, go do something extremely difficult and tell them about it and tell them what you learned and prove you did it, and then do something else and continue to compound all those difficult things in your life until you become a better version of yourself, which makes you more competent, which also amplifies your success, and everything works together, and before you know it, you have a huge personal brand. But if you don't suffer, if you don't go through pain, I don't know how you're even going to have one anymore.
Well said. Well said.